harassing me. I got a camera crew. I'm addicted to shopping, so everything brand new. Yeah. I'm friends with the jeweler, my diamonds like Shamu. Hey, she like she applying shampoo. Yeah. Pretty face, she got a look. Yeah. Keep a few racks on me. I used to work in the factory. Been hating it, never bother me. I make they follow me. Teacher said that I'm a prodigy. When I'm shopping, I don't care what it's cost to me. 10 bands, really, that ain't a lot to me. Turn up my swag to infinity. I leveled up on these. Yeah, I leveled up. Hey, I bezeled up on these. Yeah, I bezeled up. I ain't got time for no negative energy. I'm on a winning streak. I'm on a spree. The devil be doing the most, but he don't ever get to me. Bring out the Brinks truck. I'm young, flying, iced up. 100-yard dash. I had to run my price up. Boss your life up. I had to boss mine up. $10,000 outfit, $100 up. Hey, when you on top, don't hate on you. That what they supposed to do. I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you on top, don't hate on you. That what they supposed to do. I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and...
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon.
He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Commanding the offense will be the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen.
And bottom line, when you're the starting QB, what is it?
Get the W.
Get the W.
They did that last week.
Right? You got that done. Wasn't always pretty. There were some great moments. He threw 4 touchdown passes.
But got to eliminate those mistakes.
Got to take care of that, because otherwise that could come back and bite him in another ball game.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago, he was no doubt a key piece to their puzzle in that victory.
And when this offense plays well, you just know he's going to be in the middle of everything, don't you? I mean, defense is going to say, we've got to take this guy away. He doesn't allow himself to be taken away, does he?
Allen going to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
On second down, Cook. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing that hasn't been working.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back.
Watch it now, Barney!
first down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll give it to him up the middle. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They get it to him running left. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And his kick is good.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So out come the Falcons now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate.
Still
The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
On 2nd down, Wilson. His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Cannon. And down he'll go at the 25. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a 3rd down. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
From midfield, here's Allen. Flush to his right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Here's Allen. Wide open receiver complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
All right, now look at 56.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen, eluding the pressure right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Second and goal from the 1. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The Vikings on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is third and goal. They come out here in the eye. Here is Cook on third and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he puts it through. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Final play of the half. It's Wilson looking deep for Julio. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Wilson. A final shot before break. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
No. Check. Patriot.
On play action, Allen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end,
First down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They go play action here on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
To the air, Allen. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Buying time to his left. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
No, check, Patriots!
They run it again with Cook. Spins away. Oh, it spins again. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And shedding through the tackle. And he gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one,
and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and, boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Now Allen steps away to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Finding room inside the 40. And he'll be taken down at the 26. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And they'll go on the ground. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll run it here. And they'll get this down to the 10. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive. But sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose. And just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Now he's going the other way. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That's going to leave him with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Allen will try again on 2nd down. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short game when he took off running.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
One left.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Wilson, the left side completion to Jones. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his second touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep him in it.
Well, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now come the Vikings. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Allen looks to throw on second down. Going deep for Diggs. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Bullock good on the extra point. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing is Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smiles.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you can see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. On third down, that's Cook. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I said, babe, it's he said it's the pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these rats. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Babe, like a Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. Why you was sleeping on me? I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like